This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening. A blaze which threatened homes and sparked an emergency warning in Georgetown has been deemed deliberately lit. The fire burnt through 12 hectares, destroying pasture on properties, luckily missing homes. It took more than 4 hours to bring it under control.
This is the aftermath of a major grass fire which investigators say was deliberately lit.
Oh, there was smoke going everywhere and fire brigades and helicopters arrived. They were water bombing. All the gorse down there was just exploding. It's unreal, really.
It started yesterday around 2:30, quickly escalating and threatening homes in Georgetown. The fire surrounding Robert Bannon's home, damaging 5 acres of his land.
It's very scary what happened, and it's just a good job that the fire brigade were on the ball pretty well straight away.
This home also saved despite the extensive damage.
Extremely lucky, and we're very grateful to the fire people. They did a wonderful job. They asked us to lock up and stay inside, that they'd take care of everything, and they did.
This is where firefighters say the blaze had started, spreading 500 metres due to strong winds. It took more than 60 on-ground crew and 4 helicopters to control the blaze.
It was weight of attack, lots of resources, knock it out quickly, and it was done superbly. Couldn't ask for any better.
Police still on the hunt for those responsible. However, the cause of the fire is still unknown.
We've conducted extensive inquiries. We've door-knocked all the houses in the neighbourhood, and those inquiries, plus some information from witnesses at the time, have led us to identify a group of people who may be able to assist us further. The close call prompting a plea to Tasmanians to take care of their properties over the next few days. Temperatures are expected to rise.
So people should have short grass, limited trees around their properties, no wood stacked against their homes, and minimise anything that can be stored around their homes.
Rita Risk, Southern Cross News.
3 Tasmanian cyclists are lucky to be alive after being clipped by a tourist driver near Richmond. The trio managed to escape the incident unharmed, today speaking out about their terrifying ordeal.
This is the frightening moment a motorhome swipes 2 cyclists, narrowly missing another. Caught on camera, the tourist driver is unaware just how close they'd come to causing a fatal accident.
Keep an eye on what you're doing! Move over! Go down there, please!
A close call for the experienced cyclists travelling single file towards Richmond, the terrifying incident playing out in front of their eyes.
The vehicle just came up beside me. It was like having a train going past you inches away from your face. I couldn't turn to look at it.
Watching my friend in front of me being hit by a mirror of the camper van and thrown against the side. I'm really surprised he stayed on his bike.
My wheel hit the side of the van, so I could have ended up under the van. So, yeah, that's probably the most fearful thing.
Frustrations mounting as the tourist driver then stops in the middle of the road.
Move over! You hold up traffic! You almost killed people, you silly!
We couldn't really speak with the driver fluently because they didn't understand English, and it was a very, very difficult process to actually get them to stop and then move off the road. They weren't understanding.
It comes after campaigns targeting cyclist and driver behaviour. Monday's incident prompting further calls for increased road education for international drivers.
Surely before they hand over the keys to a weapon on wheels, they should be at least given the road rules. They should be given a physical test that they can manoeuvre the vehicle.
A message the CWA has been pushing for years.
If they could get a certificate to say that I drove safely in Tasmania, that'd be one more selling point for Tasmania.
We have developed in recent months a strategy to assist visitors who come to our state so that they fully understand our road rules.
Police are expecting to issue an infringement to the driver. Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
Premier Will Hodgman says he'll build an army of apprentices if re-elected. More money will be provided to businesses taking on trainees, but the opposition says the government is playing catch-up.
A hands-on lesson for Will Hodgman. and a handout for apprentice-friendly business.
It's our vision to see an army of apprentices.
Under the government's plan, companies will get a $5,000 bonus for taking on new apprentices, trumping Labor's previous promise by $1,000 per business.
We know that there haven't been the proper incentives in place when it comes to hiring apprentices or trainees. That's why the Labor Party put forward the policy of $4,000 to attract those new positions.
The Liberals' plan will also extend payroll tax rebates until 2021. The opposition has previously said it will match the scheme until June 2019, which was the deadline set in the most recent budget.
Most of my mates have either gone to uni or actually got apprenticeships and locally too, which is good.
Labor has announced a new policy of its own to slash the number of government credit cards after revelations Taswater workers racked up $500,000 in bills in a single year.
Only secretaries of departments or people who are making purchasing decisions within their roles would have credit cards.
But the policy would not extend to Taswater or local government.
We'd like this to be an example as well to local government and Taswater about the way that they should be operating credit cards.
It's a thought bubble and it's a cheap headline grabber, no doubt.
State government figures show out of 29,000 public servants, 3,000 of them have government credit cards. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
There's just hours until the Taste of Tasmania wraps up for another year, with some suggesting it's been the best yet. The festival this year under new management, making an estimated $300,000 in savings.
A festival so good you'll want to take it home. The Taste of Tasmania offering up its foliage for its loyal patrons, signalling a looming end to the festival for another year.
We've had so much great feedback, I think particularly about the lawns, the space. People find that it's a really relaxing environment here on site, and also the food options.
Under a new direction, the festival is being described as one of the best. Thousands streaming through the gates over the 7-day event, an increase on last year.
It could be somewhere well over 220, something like that. Yes, it's hard to tell because there's just so many different spaces.
I think there's more room to move around and there's more seating, so I think it's pretty good.
I think it's a lot better this year. It's a lot more people.
Changes made this year have reduced costs, estimated to round out to $700,000 after the previous year it was nearing $1 million.
We just took a different focus and put more money into decorations and stuff instead of floating buskers and things like that.
The levy for stallholders was reduced, more than 70 food and beverage shop fronts this year.
I've been around the event for a few years with other stalls. A big improvement this year with the live acts and the layout, and yeah, look, you keep improving for sure, but I think there's been a real step up. Some of the major changes and the configuration of the site have worked well, so it's certainly heading in the right direction, and it doesn't have to be tweaked a whole lot to be even better than it is.
A milestone for the Taste next year, its 30th birthday expected to be grander than ever.
I'm against routine, so I want to present something that is completely different next year.
Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
One of Tasmania's finest mansions is up for sale in a rare opportunity for wealthy buyers. Known as Stoke House, the historic home in Newtown is expected to draw a multi-million-dollar sale.
An incredible mansion hidden away in Newtown is now in the spotlight. The renowned Stoke House is up for sale in a rare opportunity for a piece of Tasmanian history.
It's one of the largest homes in Tasmania, and there is nothing else like it.
Built by the Lieutenant Governor of Tasmania in 1887, no expense was spared in its construction. Sandstone shipped in from England and Scotland, its tiling laid by Italian craftsmen. The property boasting 9 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, a cellar and a guest house.
They have had one of their children's weddings here, and it was a grand occasion, and even the photographer wanted to use the garden for photographs.
After 18 years in the home and 16 years of renovating, the owners are now moving on. Interest streaming in just minutes after the property was listed.
Within 10 minutes of it going online, I've already had umpteen inquiries on the internet.
It's hard to say exactly how much the historic mansion will go for. Similar properties selling for more than $6 million. Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
Junior doctors who have recently graduated from the University of Tasmania will do their internships in remote hospitals for the first time. 2 interns will go to Queenstown and King Island for a 3-month stint. The young professionals are expected to take on more responsibilities.
And it also gives you a different group of patients. So obviously there's a lot of farmers, quite a different demographic to in the larger hospitals. So I'm excited to get more experience like that.
I really enjoy being in a rural environment, and so I'm quite excited to see if that can keep going.
The university hopes it will encourage graduates to consider working in remote hospitals long term. Now look at business and finance with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. Australian shares have closed higher thanks to surging iron ore and coking coal prices, lifting the energy and mining sectors. The ASX 200 index has risen by 9.1 points. And a short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 78.18 US cents and 64.86 euro cents.
Meantime, Hurricanes keeper Matthew Wade has found himself in hot water, charged with a conduct breach for his overzealous send-off of Thunder batsman Joss Buttler on Monday night. But it's not enough to dampen spirits in the Canes camp following a massive confidence-boosting win. Wade couldn't hide his emotions after removing the Thunder's danger man, but Cricket Australia wasn't impressed, with the keeper accepting a reprimand and avoiding further repercussions.
I think he's been blown out of proportion a little bit. He didn't really say anything. He kind of yelled at him. So.
The run-off proving a pivotal moment in the match, with the 9-run win, the side's first of the season.
We had a really good chat before the game at Spotless and identified how we really wanted to go about the game, and we executed that really well.
And while Darcy Short's 97-run knock was the story of the match, international import Jofra Archer continues to cement himself as one of the players to watch this tournament as his popularity among the Canes faithful grows.
Yeah, he's fitted in really well. He's a bit away with the fairy sometimes, pushes the leave times and things pretty late. He rocks up a minute before we have to leave all the time.
Mills slowly finding his feet in the side after 5 months off with injury, taking 1 for 46, but the English international is confident his best is still to come.
As the tournament goes on, I'll always back myself, and I'll back myself to hopefully win a match for the Hurricanes sooner rather than later.
The side take on the Strikers at Blunston Arena tomorrow night. As we heard earlier, Tim Payne appears to be well and truly back in favour with Australian selectors, replacing Matthew Wade as the keeper for the upcoming ODI series against England. It follows an impressive performance from the Tasmanian during Australia's triumphant Ashes campaign, with Payne now in hot contention for World Cup selection. The 5-match series beginning at the MCG on January 14 will be Payne's first ODI appearance in more than 6 years. The River Derwent is set to play host to its own version of the Ashes, with the world's best SB20 sailors in town ahead of the 2018 World Championships, and it'll be an Australian and an Englishman battling it out for the title. It's the first time in the Derwent's history hosting the event, as the fleet of 59 got a feel for the river's infamous and ever-changing conditions in today's warm-up race.
We have the big mountain, Mount Wellington. The breeze splits between 2 sides and we can get any direction. You can get 360 degrees in this river, which makes it very challenging, so whoever wins the regatta here is a very good sailor.
Englishman Jerry Hill is the reigning world champ after securing the title on home soil last year. Hobart's Michael Cooper finishing runner-up by just 2 points, but boasting the home water advantage this time around.
Very keen to get even with Jerry, so we'll give it our best shot for sure, but it'll be very, very tough regatta. I think it'll be tougher than what we've had before.
I know there's going to be some very strong sailors that know the water here. I just overheard you interviewing Sludge. I'm not buying any of this stuff about there's no home advantage.
And considering an Aussie hasn't won an SB20 World Crown in the past decade, expect competition to be fierce when the championships kick off this Sunday.
Good evening. Hobart 22 today, Launceston the state's high with 24, Burnie 22 and Devonport 20. A westerly stream brought showers today to the west, but they had mostly cleared by the afternoon. The rest of the state mostly fine. Wynyard and Bushy Park 22, St Helens and Friendly Beaches 21, Bridport, Grove and Campania 20, Lowhead, Strawn and the Islands 19, and Lyawini warmed up to 15 after starting at 0. Low cloud over the Bight and the Southern Ocean is spreading over Tasmania in that westerly airstream. Bit of low cloud also moving on onshore over southern Victoria and South Australia. Isolated thunderstorms and the monsoon trough active over the far north. But for us, mainly low-level cloud over the west and south of the state, a band of high cloud clearing the northeast. Tomorrow, a ridge of high pressure sits through Bass Strait as a cold front approaches our southwest. Broad troughs are over the east and west of the mainland. Northwest to southwest winds at 15 to 25 knots, lighter and more variable over the east, but reaching 30 knots over the south. So we do have a strong wind warning for waters between Tasman Island and Low Rocky Point. Morning showers for Hobart, 23 the top tomorrow, 22 for Cygnet. Morning showers as well for New Norfolk and 23 degrees. Launceston partly cloudy but fine, warming up to 26. 21 the top for Devonport. Morning shower clearing from Campbelltown, 27 later on. For Burnie, partly cloudy and 21. A shower or two for Strawn on 19 and Smithton 22. And for the east, a morning shower as well. St Helens 25, 24 for Swansea. Fingal a top of 27. UV extreme all over. On Friday, showers over the west and south and possibly over the northeast in the afternoon, fine elsewhere. Mainly fine and hot on Saturday ahead of an evening shower over the west and south. How warm? Strawn 30, Launceston 31, Hobart 33 and Swansea 35. While on Sunday, morning showers once again mainly over the west and south. Sunny for Perth, Adelaide and Alice Springs tomorrow, fine for Melbourne and 26 degrees. A cloudy day for Canberra, Sydney and Brisbane. A shower and possible storm for Darwin. Partly cloudy and 19 in Hobart, 20 in Launceston, and right now in Devonport it's 21 degrees. Rachel, I don't have to worry about New Year's resolutions until next year, but I lasted 3 days. That's a record.
Well done, Murph. You deserve a medal. Thank you for that. Well, that's Southern Cross News for this Wednesday, the 3rd of January. Thanks for your company. Good night.